Did you forget to change your guitar strings before recording? Guitarists are cheap, smelly, no-good degenerates that'll stop at nothing to not change their guitar strings. Or is that bassists? It's bassists, sorry, my mistake. All jokes aside, if we are honest, you've probably skipped changing your guitar strings on a couple recording occasions, and then somebody like me is left to pick up the pieces when we're mixing. I know because I've also been that guy that has just cheaped out and not changed my guitar strings. Call it being lazy, call it being cheap, and call it being in a rush. It happens. And if you've ever listened to the Self-Recording Band podcast, you know that we are always telling people to change their strings when recording guitars. But because this is so common, I've had to come up with some solutions on how to breathe new life into guitar DIs that get sent to me for mixing. So buckle up, click subscribe, and let's jump into 3 ways that you can fix your dead guitar tone in the mix. Tea break. One trend that you're going to notice in all 3 methods that I'm going to share with you today is that I'm always processing a DI track as a priority. These methods will also work on recorded amp tracks, but they will be so much more effective and you have so much more power with a DI track, and then you can reamp it after. Let that be a reminder to you to always record a clean DI. Whoever is mixing your song, and that might be you, will thank you. Alright, method 1. EQ your mids. Grabbing an EQ and boosting in our upper mid-range frequencies is the quickest way to breathe life back into the attack of our guitar DIs. The attack and bite of our picking hand is the first thing to go as our strings start to age, so that is generally what we're trying to revive here. So by boosting in our upper mid-range, we can re-accentuate what was lost. So let's do an A-B comparison with this method. Obviously that is brighter and tighter sounding with it engaged. But you can't boost what doesn't exist, so that brings us to method 2, using a transient designer. As the name implies, transient designers allow you to reshape the attack and sustain of the signal you sent into them. This can be used to reshape the transient of your guitar signal and give us a more aggressive attack. But don't discount the sustain knob either. Sometimes shortening the sustain will also give the illusion of more attack. So once again, let's do an A-B comparison with this transient designer off and then on. Now finally we can get to my 3rd and final method, but do stick around after that because I have one more bonus tip I want to share with you. So method 3, using a harmonic exciter. Exciters are quickly becoming my favorite secret weapon when mixing because I just really love distortion. And similar to method 1, we can hone in on our mid-range and excite that specific frequency range. Doing this definitely breathes some life back into our guitar tone, but I find it also kind of thickens out the tone in general. Careful though, because it is really easy to overdo this. Let's have a quick listen. And finally, for those of you that stuck around, a bonus tip. Bass guitars can provide so much life to a guitar tone. So if you're not getting the bite and excitement you want in your guitar tone from the 3 methods we talked about today, try boosting the mid-range on your bass guitar instead. I often find that I can disguise the upper mid-range of a bass guitar as the attack of my guitars. This can be really powerful, and don't be afraid to play with some stereo widening on the upper mid-range of your bass guitar to get it out to your guitars. If you want a specific video on that bass guitar method, let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to get that done for you. So in conclusion, none of these things are really as good as just having fresh strings. I know I must sound like a broken record, but it's worth the time, it's worth the money, and if you're ever going to be releasing this music, it's so worth doing. In the grand scheme of things, it's a tiny investment. But in a pinch, these 3 methods can really save the day, and I've used them countless times. In fact, sometimes I actually employ these methods on fresh guitar strings because I want even more aggressive mid-range. As always, experiment and adjust to taste. And if there's one additional takeaway that I hope you got from this video, it's that so much is possible when you have a clean DI. It's so worth doing, and the benefits go far beyond what was covered in this video. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, please consider giving it a thumbs up and click subscribe below and help me grow this channel. In addition, if you like the sound of a free one-on-one coaching call with the Self-Recording Band Academy, check out the link below in the description. And finally, if you want to see how I use distortion to mix drums, check out this video.